Today's video is all about starting out and not crashing. On my travels, I've been asked by a few people in regards to drones of how I got started and have I got any tips for them when they get their drones. So I thought I'd just do a quick video on how I got started and how I got a bit more confident with flying a drone. So what you can see here, this is 6 fields, this is at ground level, and you can see it's overgrown at the moment, but they do cut it regularly. But as we switch to an aerial footage now, you can see obviously the 6 fields and how huge an area the nature reserve is. I tend to go into the center of that field area and to fly my drone because most of the people are on the outskirts where you can see the concrete path and sort of the outer edges. You don't get many people on the inside. When I started out, I had the DJI Neo, I had the RC N3 controller that I had to put my mobile phone into, and basically all I did was I kept it slow and steady and just learned the sticks, learned what the buttons do, and gone from there. Now I've got the RC2 controller now, which has got a built-in screen, which is a lot easier, a lot faster, and it's a lot more convenient rather than having to stick your mobile phone in, and it feels a lot more well balanced. But on here you have a selector switch, and on there you got C for cinematic, N for normal, and S for sport. Now when you turn this on, it will default to normal regardless if it's in sports mode or if it's in cinematic. So the best thing to do if you're starting out, start your controller, get your drone on, and then switch it to normal or all the way over to sports mode, and in the corner you should see sports mode activated. And then switch it back to cinematic. It'll say cinematic selected, and then at least you know then it's in the right setting. It'll start off slowly and you can learn from there. So there's plenty of space where I film my drone footage sometimes in 6 fields. You can get right in the center of the whole place. There's so much open space, and because you've got that big open field area, you can get yourself central and give yourself basically a bubble of 5 to 10 meters. That's what I tend to do when I started, is basically just keep it sort of close by, 5-10 meters up or around you, and then just get used to these sticks and obviously sort of going up or down, flying, doing different maneuvers, sort of figuring out the gimbal rotation and things like that. But just do it really slow. It may feel a bit boring to you. You may be sort of flying your drone and it feels like it's going this sort of speed, but at least it's not, you're not pushing forward and it's going and then flying off into something it shouldn't. You can keep an eye on it, and at any point, which is a great thing about DJI's drones, once you click on takeoff, it'll go to 1.2 meters and hover there for you. You don't need to touch anything, it will just do that and wait for you. If you're flying your drone around using the sticks, obviously you can see I'm pushing up and down in different directions. If at any point you're feeling a bit worried it's getting close to something, or you're just sort of a bit anxious, take your fingers off. Both the sticks will just centralize again. Your drone will then come to a halt. Depending on your brake sensitivity, it'll either slow right down and stop, or it'll just basically sort of stop abruptly. At least then you can gather your thoughts, think, okay, well that was a bit too close to those trees. There's a big opening over there. So you can then bring it back a bit, maneuver it across, and try doing another maneuver, whatever you're going to be doing over a bit more of an open area. But because of the open field area that I fly in, it is just so easy just to do slow maneuvers, go forward, go back, go up, go down, turn, or do side to side, and just do different things. So you might want to just fly your drone and then basically do a diagonal. You might want to do sort of one where you're kind of turning it around like this, or you may just want to sort of do a mixture of both, where you're kind of going forward, diagonal, and then turn it round, or doing like a point of interest shot. So it's basically filming the camera there and slowly goes round and follows the sort of the focal point. You can try all of these, but it doesn't need to be fast. Get it in cinematic, make sure it's always in cinematic on the screen, flip it to sports and back to cinematic, as I've probably mentioned a moment ago, and to make sure it's in cinematic for those slow speeds. And just try everything slowly. That's all I did with the Neo, because when I got a bit too much adventurous, which you'll see a little bit later, I crashed it. So as I say, the best advice is slow and steady wins the race, and just do all of the maneuvers, get used to the controls, which is up, which is down, which is forward, back, side to side, turning. Obviously you'll have gimbal rotations on these if you've got like the Mini 5. You've got obviously the turning this way, but also going up and down. You've got your record and your photo. So you can do all these different maneuvers and change your settings. And after a while, it'll get to the point where it's all muscle memory, where you know this side is record, this one's taking pictures, this one's your gimbal up and down, this one's your rotation of the gimbal itself if you've got the Mini 5 or the Mavic Pro. Obviously this one's up and down, this one's forward and back, and so forth. It'll get to the point where you're no longer looking. You can visual line of sight, you can start flying, you know what you're doing, and once you get used to the controls at that slow speed, stick it into normal, start doing faster shots, get more confident with that, and before you know it, you'll be up and about different areas. You'll be filming more with confidence around buildings, around sort of other sort of fields, areas, wherever you want to film. And it just helps to do that, because obviously I have crashed a few times with both the DJI Neo, which I started with, and with the DJI Mini 5 Pro. Obviously the Neo was sort of a cheaper model, whereas this costs you sort of in the range of about 500 quid. So you don't want to get it broken. Care Refresh package, that's another fact, that's another thing I would say. Definitely get the Care Refresh package. If you're brand new to drone flying and you've just got a brand new drone, it only costs, what, 35, 50 quid between there to get it insured for a year. And if you crash this, you'll basically get a brand new one for a fraction of the cost. So if, say if this has cost you £600 for or £500, I think it costs sort of about 10% of that. So it's like 50 quid for a replacement. You basically send it off free of charge. They return it free of charge. So there's no costs involved. They'll basically look at it, go, okay, well, it just needs one of those. They'll either replace it or they'll just give you a brand new drone, which they did with the Neo. And with this, I crashed into a tree. If you didn't see the obstacle avoidance video, I crashed this into a tree. Basically, I was flying it towards trees during the winter period where there was no leaves. It was very bare branches, very thin branches. So the obstacle avoidance doesn't see that as much. Obviously, it sees the thickness of the trunk, but not the actual finery of the branches. So yeah, it was basically going through, couldn't see. It was trying to figure a way out. It was struggling a little bit, trying to see what was there, and it kind of went up. And as soon as the propellers hit anything, it cuts it off and it drops like a stone. Whereas maybe if you've got the flip, the Neo 2 sort of thing, they've got propeller guards. So when they hit something, it kind of bounces, stabilizes, and then you can kind of get out of trouble. Whereas this, yeah, it hits the propellers and it'll just drop. And that's what it did. It just basically dropped and hooked with these little hooks on the branches in the tree, which I'll show you a little bit later as well. But luckily it didn't go into the field because there's cattle, sheep, cows and stuff that roam around there. So there's big piles of you know what there. And it could have been worse. This could have been, yeah, literally in the, well, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to give people just a bit of advice, really. If you're starting out, don't start fast. Don't start in normal mode. Stick it in cinematic. Keep it slow as you possibly can, just to learn the basics of what everything does. And then once you've done that, put the speed up on cinematic, or even go into normal mode, go a little bit further, a little bit sort of further and higher, and just sort of start sort of practicing those. And then over the sort of the weeks, you'll get more confident. You'll get muscle memory of what everything is. You'll go, right, okay, I need to record, I need to go up, I need to go down, I need to go forward, I need to do this, I need to do a certain master shots, or all that sort of stuff, point of interest. You know where everything is, so it's a lot easier to just sort of quickly do it, keep in visual line of sight, and then before you know it, you'll be creating awesome footage. Now, back to the crashes. Now, when it came to the Neo, I was absolutely devastated. For me, I'm not one of these that likes to fly my drone into like trees. I don't want to fly it into walls to show how much damage you can take at certain miles an hour. I want to look after my stuff. I want to be able to use this in 5, 10, 20 years time still. So I like to keep everything nice and fresh. But there are times when things go wrong and you crash and there's nothing you can do about it. With the Neo, I had in mind of doing a cinematic-y sort of shot going over church ruins. Now, I got the drone up, it was hovering for a while. There was 15 to 20 satellites, it went into the white, so I thought it was fine to fly. I was flying through, I wanted to get a shot going over the church, another one going over but with a gimbal looking down, another one where I was doing a point of interest shot, and there was like a sort of a thing at the very end, a circular bit at the end which I wanted to kind of go over and sort of go near. But basically what happened is I was going through the actual church, getting sort of the forward view. So it was basically just gimbal was forward, flying forward, and it got sort of near the edge, and I don't know what had happened, but the satellite started fluctuating between 20 to 15 to 5, back to 15, back to 3. So it was going up and down. And then I couldn't use the sticks for some weird reason. I was trying to pull the drone over and it was starting to do this. It was starting to move up. I didn't know what was going on, and it just basically went slow but then went fast, and I couldn't control it, and it just flew out the way. There was a massive tree. It hit the tree. You could hear it going as it was falling down, and it sounded expensive. But luckily I had the DJI Care Refresh package. When I looked at the drone, the gimbal was twisted and it was doing this, and I couldn't stop it. I turned it off, back on, and it kept doing this. So luckily I set it off and got a brand new one back. But when you crash your drone, that anxiety of flying comes back again. So then it was back to the field. It was back to learning how to do stuff. It was back to watching videos and learning from other people. And then obviously I just went on and did some great footage with the Neo, which you might have seen in previous videos. But when it came to this, obviously I crashed it in a tree, which luckily it didn't damage it or scratch it or do anything with the gimbal. It's perfectly fine. And another one was hand sort of launching it. When you've got the RC2 controller, obviously with your thumb you can push the button to get it sort of taking off and hover, and then basically sort of this will then start the propellers, and it takes a little while to kind of get going, and then it'll fly up to where it needs to be. But when I hand launched it, it got so far up, the wind blew it and kind of made it do this, and my hand was in the way at the time, and the propellers shut off and it hit the ground, but it was only 2 foot from the ground, so it hit the grass perfectly fine. But yeah, I'm more cautious with this because it's a lot more expensive than the DJI Neo. But yeah, I just wanted to do a very basic thing for you, just to show that you can basically just fly around a field, get used to the controls. You can do a nice cinematic or aerial shot of like a pond area showing where you are. Or you can sort of catch a train. So if there's a train going by on the train tracks, obviously you can't go anywhere near it, but if you go alongside it and do sort of a nice shot filming it, or just still watching it go higher up, it's just great to do. Just start slow and build up. That's my advice. If there's anything you need help with in regards to sort of a beginner guide, how I started, let us know in the comments if there's sort of maneuvers or settings or anything that you think, oh, I've been doing this, but I can't seem to get that to work, or this isn't working, or how do I do this? Let us know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. And if it's something that I can't answer in a few lines, what I'll do is I'll do a video for you, and then I'll tag you in it or something like that. So yeah, so thanks for watching this little video, and hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe to support my channel, and I will see you in the next DJI drone video. So take care and happy flying, and bye bye.